Today's topic for Motivational Sunday is finding yourself and how you do that and what that means. And let me tell you, it means whatever the frick you want it to mean. This to start right off the bat. Finding yourself is absolutely whatever you want to make it, because finding yourself is finding who you want to be. So that's like numero uno step I can give you about that. You might think somewhere out there there's a better you, a better way to be. And you know what? Maybe. But at the end, being you and finding you is literally you. You are you. There may be a better state of life you want to get to, and that's fine, and that's great. If you can recognize that, then that's where you're going to. But if you're fine with where you're at now too, there's nothing wrong with that either, right? So the whole premise about finding yourself is actually understanding and knowing who you are, or in the essence of who you may want to be. And that changes year to year. That can change day to day. Heck, you know what? Even second by second. What kind of comes in at the end of the day, though, is knowing that you're comfortable and happy with who you are at the end. You're going to hear people go on life to life and day to day saying, I want to be the best I can be. I'm on a self-discovery journey. I want to push through. I want to find my best self. I am out there somewhere. I just don't know who I am. And that'll come up a lot in life. You're going to discover yourself. You might even be feeling it right now. Heck, I've been through it sometimes myself. And it doesn't mean you don't know who you are. I know that sounds contradictory. You're on a journey to find out who you are. But that doesn't mean you don't know who you are. The essence of who you are, like I said, changes day to day, time to time, second to second. The journey that you were on at that time to find yourself, that at that time is who you are. You are a person on a journey of self-discovery to push forward, looking for who you want to be at the end of that goal. Rod Johnston, my bud, welcome, friend. Love your face too. How you doing this happy Sunday? I also low-key should probably turn alerts back on, because I finally figured out how to edit this stuff. We're impromptu off script. We're halting the discussion for a second. Sky Night Lord. All right, I apparently do have alert. All right, let me turn the alerts back on. I had them off when I was fixing the overlay because I was trying to get it, and I'm I learned low-key how to actually edit the video proper so I can take out the stuff we don't need. Thank you for that quick ban there, Lilith. Alright, well, Sky, thank you for that 5 months of believing a row. Lilith resub too! Oh my goodness, we've got 2 resubs. Okay, well, alright, let me get this thing fixed in here, and then we'll get back on the subject of why it's okay to not know yourself, but in essence, it does know yourself. Why is this week's without tribal text? What is going on here? Oh man, prepared streamers prepared when a layout. I got you, but it didn't tell you. Aw, don't worry, Lilith. I got you. You know what? I'm gonna replay those alerts. Girl Wonder, good morning. I think you mean good night, because it's 1 a.m. where you're at. What is going on, Ann? How you doing, friend? 1 a.m. is technically morning. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm also apparently not prepared. Oh, goodness. This is a day today. Okay, alert box. Hold up. Add source. I think I just want alert box 1, right? Okay, let me refix those. We're going to drop over to Streamlabs quick and get some resubs rolling. Sky, thank you again for that resub, my dude. Let me replay those and we'll get the fancy kitty cat dance going that we all love and enjoy, I hope. I mean, if you really don't like it at this point, I'm going to question your life. Yeah, that's so weird though. It's not even showing up on my notice bar that you resub. That is so weird. Heck, it's not even showing me skies at the moment. That is so weird. Astros, this is why I love you, you silly bitch. I love you too, buddy. I love you too. I love all you guys. You're all great. This is impromptu at the minute. Yeah, for real. I can't actually figure out why it's not showing me this. Legit, it's not actually showing me you guys did your resubs even in my alert boxes anywhere. That is so freaking weird. Alright, well, okay. I'm hoping it's going to be fixed later. So, for Sky and Lilith, for your resubs, here is how it goes for now. We don't do the Wheel of Wonder anymore. Instead, there's something totally new, totally fantastic. It's going to blow your mind. It, my friends, is It's not magic. I wish it was magic. That'd be really sweet. Man, if I could just like make fire appear right here, oh, I'd cook a flambe so hard. Yeah, I know people love the wheel. I took the wheel away for a reason, though. So everyone's got a reward that they really love. Everyone loves either the flame, they love the voice act, they love the song. So what I did for you guys is when you resubscribe, you are able to choose from a point redemption in the channel points that is less than 10,000 points before I fudge up. You can choose any reward less than 10,000 points, and you can ask me to do it right now or at a later time when you decide. Because I don't hate you guys. I took it away just because people love certain rewards. And there were just some that, like, you come up, you feel a little sad, you had hoped it was something different. So I know you're going to give me flack for it, but the reason I took it away was so that now you can actually choose what rewards you want. You don't have to claim it today. You can claim it at a later stream. You can think about it. Any reward on the channel points that is less than 10,000 points, now you can choose. VA character is voice act a character. You give me a character and I do my best impression of them for 5 minutes. But Desu's not there. Desu's not going to be there for a while. I said Desu is only a seasonal thing. That's why. We had Desu on for a long time. It's time for a change for now, guys. You have Desu in an emote. I need to give vocal cords a rest from saying Desu all the time. We needed a change. He's getting strict with us, guys. Don't even. I'm getting trolled by my own chat. Roscoe, what is going on? Okay. While you two are sorting out what you want your point redemption to be, we're going to jump back on topic of Motivational Sunday. I'm holding on to all my subs till it comes back. That's fine, man, if you want to. Dark Seeker, what is going on, friend? Happy Sunday. We were just having a little bit of chat trolling me because they're not happy Desu's not around, but, you know, that's life. Sorry, I am going to keep subbing. I mean, you do you. I'll choose when it comes back. We're giving it. When don't you guys give me shit? Like, in all honesty. This is how it works. They can sing Bohemian Rhapsody? No, see how Sing a Song works is you have to give me a section of chorus or lyric that I sing. You don't get the whole song. That's how Sing a Song works. Otherwise, I'd be here for forever. You love us for it. I mean, you're not wrong, Lilith. Give them chocolate chip cookies and they'll be happy? You're probably right. They would, Derek. I should probably invest in cookies for chat. And it's me, man. Of course I will. I mean, I know you will, but that's because it's you. So we got on the subject of looking to find yourself. What does that kind of mean? And the essence of when you're actually going out to find yourself, does that actually mean you're lost? You don't know who you are. And we touched on the point. Even when you're looking to find yourself, that still means you do know who you are at that time. You are the version of you on a journey. Right, the essence of who you are changes, like I said, day to day, time to time, second to second, minute to minute. You could change in a matter of a second from being happy-go-lucky to sad and depressed because they were sold out of chocolate chip cookies at the store. I don't know. Hopefully they're not sold out of cookies. That would be really sad. But anyways, your essence of who you are changes, right? And in that, just because your essence is changing and you're on a journey to try and find yourself, that doesn't mean you don't know who you are. Knowing who you are is, in essence, understanding who you are at that time in life and maybe understanding you're comfortable where you're at, or you want to change something where you're at, or going to where you want to be. It's an incredible journey to actually kind of go through, and oftentimes I'm jealous when I hear people about it. I like to think that, you know, I know myself pretty well. There are days when I don't, and I kind of question what's going on in life. Is there something I need to change? But for the most part, I like to think I know who I am. I'm happy, I'm energetic, I'm definitely an introvert most days. I'm an extroverted introvert. I like my quiet time, I like to get out. I'm a bit of a flirt. I can come up with a compliment on the backside of my hand with nothing less than like 5 seconds in to compliment a girl to make her smile, or a close friend to bring something bright to their day. And I love cheering people up, and I love playing Magic. I love hanging with my friends. I love getting shit from all you guys, because that's life and that's fun. That's a little about me. That's what I like to think I am and who I am. And, you know, some people will question, well, maybe I'm only happy, but I don't know who I am. I don't know if I'm artsy. I don't know if I'm mathematic. I don't know if I'm the next, I don't know, Jonas Brothers band, because I can't think of another band off the top of my head. You know, in essence of who you are in your work, your life, your personality, your styles, your choices, anything. And that is okay, because you're on a journey of self-discovery at that point, like I said. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you know at that time that is who you are, and you know you're trying to go towards somewhere else to figure out who you want to be, or maybe you don't know where you want to be, where you're going to go, but you want to get there. It's like taking the path less traveled, right? In life, sure, easy path, great, nice and fine. What are you going to do on the easy path? Hop and skip and jump and enjoy the view, I guess? Or would you rather explore? Right, taking the road less traveled is a chance to explore. It's a chance to get out, try something different and new. I mean, I'm going to totally just pick on Lilith here for a second. Because I remember this young little streamer who started out just a little while back. And she's like, I don't know if I should stream. Should I stream? How do I stream? What do? I feel bad for messaging people to ask. And I'm like, you know what? Just do it. Go for it. Fucking get it done and go for it. You know what? Here she is. She's sitting in. She's a mod in the chat and having a good time and laughing. And see, look. Lilith is on her journey to find out who she's going to be and who she wants to be. Everyone here is on a journey. I never said that journey is going to end. It never stops. You know, tomorrow I could be on a different path to where I am today. I mean, we talked to Darkseeker about his career changes a couple weeks back, and that was a fantastic journey. Like, Dark took us through his change in life, and that was a great motivational lesson, right? He was happy at what he was, but he wanted a bit of difference and change, and now he's at a point where he's even happier. He's doing different things. He's got an exciting and engaging time. And, like, life adapts and changes, and your path is always going to go. How to find yourself is going to be an everlasting question that's going to be in your life. And just because you may not recognize who you are at this time, aside from on a journey, doesn't mean you're completely lost. You're just on a path you haven't finished yet, and you haven't gotten to the end of that journey. And that journey is not going to end. It's going to have different forks. It's going to have different roads. And, you know, maybe the odd time, you are going to want to take that road easier travel because you need to. And that's part of discovering yourself, because sometimes there are limitations you face in life when you can't take the harder path. And that's not a bad thing. If you have attempted and understood where your limitation is at that point, and you've decided to opt for the easier method, that is good. You're recognizing a part of yourself on your journey of discovery and saying, hey, I can't do this right now. Maybe at a later time, so you continue on. I also don't know if I am the last Jonas brother. I mean, my singing voice is pretty bad, so I'm going to be doubtful I'm not the lost Jonas brother. But, you know, that'd be kind of sweet. Man, I could be rich and famous. I don't know if about the famous part. I mean, the famous part might be kind of cool. The rich part would be nice, but, like, not too rich. You know, you wanted just enough to get by. So how do you recognize when you're kind of on this journey of discovery? How do you recognize something's changing, going through, you're looking for something different? It's a state of mind and a presence of mind. I'll use, for example, me. So, you know, I'm in school for engineering, and it's a stressful time. Heavy course load a week. I did 20 hours of school, or 20 hours of part-time work a week, 30 hours of volunteer a week on top of a full course load of classes. And I kind of questioned myself if engineering really was what I wanted to do, but, you know, every day I was in my classes, I got a gentle reminder that it's what I loved, it's what I enjoyed. And I also enjoyed the aspect of the social times that I got in with the Magic the Gathering Club. I enjoyed the student societies, the clubs, the orientation week. And I found myself in school, not that I liked to design a lot. I like to design, it is an interest to me. But I found more that I really enjoyed being like the concept person of a project and coming up with the idea and the solution of how this whole thing is going to get solved and work, and then passing off my idea and my initial concepts and thoughts to someone else who is more interested to shape something that's already there. Maybe someone that's not so great at concepting but can take an existing idea and improve on it. So that's why I really found, like, during my journey in university, what I really love to do. And I mean, that's what I do in my day-to-day work. I work in concepting for engineering. I come with with crazy ideas with robots on how to put stuff in boxes. More or less is a base description of what I do. There is more, not worth it is explaining at this point. You won't be interested. All you gotta know is I put stuff in boxes with robots. That's like the base gist of what I do. But I get to come up with the new and exciting ideas every time I work on a new project because it's always different. It's always something unique. And I get to explore every time, coming up with a different way of how little things are going to fit in their boxes and then be put into another place with robots. And I never have to quote the same solution. I'm always dreaming up something different. And then, when someone decides like, hey, I like your idea and I'm going to buy it, we pass over the paper to the engineering department and they're going to take my idea, my thoughts, my concept, and they're going to turn it into a reality, which is pretty sweet. I get to see things come around full circle, which is like the journey of discovery. I wouldn't have found that out about myself if I hadn't stayed in the engineering program. And, I love what I do. I mean, aside from, I love what I do on Twitch. I love MTG and everything, but I also love my day job. I mean, it's something's got to pay the bills. I need a roof, guys. It's a life. But life takes you through a bunch of different ways where you kind of think about different things you're going to go through and things change. Like for me, one thing I would absolutely love to do, and this is where I would love to get to in like the next 10 to 12 years, my sort of future goal for me, the person I want to be, is I actually want to own my own kind of cafe and game shop. As bad as that might be in today's market in 2020 with COVID, I'm thinking post-COVID world, I really want to own like a cafe and game shop where like, the kids can come in like I did when I was a kid, to come in and play at the back with friends and board games, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, pick up a manga, grab a book, have a coffee, get a sandwich, something like that, and just... I had this whole idea for it. It was going to be like a 2-story kind of building. The upper floor is like a viewpoint on a little bit of a terrace balcony. The cafe is like upstairs. The downstairs is like the gaming area with a front patio. You have like a section at the back where you can host like activities, and then you'd have like the basement set up with some good lighting and stuff for large tournament activities. And so I guess in essence it'd actually be like a 3-floor building, because basement, main floor, top floor. But anyways, yeah, that's where I would love to be in like 12 years. Do I know if I'm going to get there? I don't know. It's a dream. It's what I want to work towards, and I have other things I need to get done first. But that is something that is where I'm working towards in my life to get to one day. If I won the lottery, I'd buy you a cafe and a game shop. Aw, well, thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. Yo, if I won the lottery, I'd buy that too. Do I think it would make a profit? Not right now, but I'd be happy. And ideally, I would make sure to have it earn a profit. But again, COVID world, not a good time to start it. Also, not in the right time of my life to start it. I want to do it when I'm in my 40s. I have a few years. I mean, I'm just 30. I literally just turned 30. I have like 10 years till then. I have 10 years more of discovery where life's going to take me, things to do and explore. I mean, the world's an open book. I can write whatever I want on the pages to come in the next 10 years. I feel like it's so hard to find the balance between being happy and making enough money to live, even if it's just a comfortable life. Yes and no. So, the reason I say yes and no is because, yes, you want a job where you can have a sustainable life, but it's not going to be too pressuring on you for other means. And you want to make sure you're doing something impactful that you enjoy. So, it's not impossible. It's not hard, but it's looking to where you can be in life where you're going to enjoy. You define what is happiness for you and what you're happy with, right? So looking for finding that balance is all entirely up to you. It's your choice where you want to work. It's your choice on what you do. It's ultimately your choice of where you're going to be. So I don't disagree. It is hard because you are responsible for setting up the balance, and we are our own worst enemies at the best of times. That is a hands down fact. At the end, that balance comes from where you want to get to. You set up your balance of where you want to be at and how to get it. If you decide, I'm going to work at McDonald's and live in my parents' basement, hey, you know what? You do you. If that is a content life that makes you comfortable and happy, do it. I mean, mad respect to people that work in customer service. Personally, I don't miss it. Some people thrive off it. You gotta do you. No effing way. How you doing, bud? Welcome, friend. It's a good idea. I think it is too. It would be profitable for people playing games in your shop. Profitable in terms of their enjoyment. That's a lovely thought. Oh, thank you, Doc. I would love it. I mean, my favorite job. I've had probably about 15 different jobs in between being 15 to 30. Multitude of them part-time, and it was just due to different circumstances of a workplace being closed, moving, change of job. That was not my middle finger, I swear. I should have been careful with that on screen. Anyways, a multitude of different jobs. I've literally worked in grocery stores, fast food, another grocery store, a restaurant. I worked as a server for a while. I've worked in university job as a, what did I do in my university job? Off-campus housing. I helped students with their residence off campus and dealing with bylaws and locale and what they had to do. Like, I had a chance to work with policy and bylaws to help students that lived off of campus handle issues with landlords and stuff. Like, I've worked a good decent around in different places. Glad to be here. Happy to have you here, friend. That's an amazing point. I feel like it would give young people a place to go and could potentially help them if they're struggling, like being lonely and stuff. For sure, it's a meeting point, right? That's what I love the aspect about, like, the game shop. It just brings people in a community in together. What I was trying to get at was my favorite job I've ever done. I only worked at it a year. I only got paid once a month, which really sucked, but that was the model that they used to pay, and that's my only gripe with that employment. I actually worked in a game shop for a year. I'd played Magic there every Friday night for about 6 months prior when I moved from my first apartment with my family to down in the city. And I had a couple friends there, and, you know, I noticed they were getting a few extra staff to help around, and was like, hey, do you need extra help in the store? Can I submit a resume for a job? And they're like, yeah, for sure. Give us your resume in. About a week later, I was hired, which was really sweet. Actually, it was one of the quickest turnarounds I've ever had in a job. The weird thing is, too, I never actually figured out how much I made, because my paycheck was always more than what they told me my pay was. So, yeah, I don't know. I think there was, like, there must have been commission or something, because, like, it'd always be, like, a little higher every month. And I'm just like, this seems awkward, but I'm not going to question it, because there's money. But yeah, so what I did there was I'd work in the shop. I'd help customers as soon as they came in. And the best part is I worked Friday nights in a game shop where my friends came to play Magic the Gathering. I was the only one working. I literally got to sit at the back and play Magic the Gathering with my friends while I was on shift, on the condition that I watched the front door, and if a customer came in, I went up and I helped them and I finished my nightly duties. And guys, I tell you, that was the best year of my life. I got paid to play Magic the Gathering for a whole year, and it was great, and I loved it. Oh, I missed that job so much. The people there were really sweet. And the best part I actually really found out about it too was one of the managers. It was a couple that owned it, just a local business. There's two fun parts to it. The first part is the wife, who I worked with more closely. She was the one that initially hired me because her husband had a regular day job. She started going back to her day job too. She was a mechanical engineer, of all the bloody things in the world. And I'm just like, teach me the ways. The other really fun fact was the shop was called the Multiverse, which in Magic the Gathering, the Multiverse is the thing that connects all the planes. So, you know, MTG-wise, it was like this really cool reference of all of us coming together from different places to play Magic in the Multiverse, and it was symbolic, and I really loved it. And yeah, society has expectations on how we should live our life. Example: leave home at 18, buy that flashy car 2 holidays per year, get a job that makes a lot of money, jobless status. I've been asked a lot of times by extended family and friends, aren't you a doctor, engineer, or accountant? It's an Asian culture thing. Forget all that. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I mean, I've heard that more on multiple occasions, and society really has that implanted into the minds that, especially in the concept of you have to go to school to get a job to get happy, and that's not true in the slightest. There's trades, you have options. I'll use Canada as a weird example in this one because our college and university system is separate. They aren't the same thing here. So colleges in Canada get you a diploma. Universities get you a degree. There was this whole trend and mindset while I was in high school, especially, that if you went to university, you were going to get a job, which is like probably the worst kind of advice I'd ever give somebody just in general. Not on the fact that going to university is bad, but there's two different types of degrees you can get in university, not concluding to masters or doctorates at all. So in the university system in Canada, we have what's known as a professional degree and a regular degree, right? So a professional degree is for someone in nursing, engineering, accountant, in that kind of field. That is a field where you have to have that degree in order to get work in it. So I cannot work in engineering if I did not have an engineering degree. Otherwise, I would need something comparable, such as a science or otherwise. But that professional degree is specifically made, and that course is structured to help you with getting job in that kind of work. Whereas a regular diploma or regular degree, it is more for a broadening and understanding and growth aspects. University was never, in the olden days, meant as a place to go to university to get a job in like the 1800s. University was a foundation and learning institution. You went there to learn skills to better your life and experiences and growth, not to become something else or get a job. And there's a pressure that was put on, especially on kids in my generation, that university job, you're good, get out. And like that's not even the case. Like I said, professional degree, slightly different. I went through for a professional degree. That's why I do what I do. But university does not equate to getting a job. Like, going to college better prepares you for getting a job than a lot of university degrees, and actually offers you a better chance to even learn more about yourself, because it's such a hands-on environment, which is fantastic for learning. Even the trades too, right? And you're probably asking, why am I going on this whole tangent about universities and colleges and everything in education? Because that in is of itself a path you take to get to further learn more about yourself, right? There are people that will go to a post-secondary education and find this is not the program for me, and they've learned something about themselves. Yeah, sometimes it's an expensive lesson if you wait to pull out a tuition and you only get like half your money back, but nonetheless, you've learned a lesson. You've figured out more about who you are at this state of life and what you want to work towards, which is not something you can put any price tag on. Experiences are something always in life you'll never be able to put a price tag on. They're always going to be something working towards to better your growth in yourself. I've mentioned this book a few times before, and the book is titled The Alchemist, right? So the whole point of The Alchemist, as I've mentioned, is understanding you have a personal legend in this life that you've got to work towards, a way to get forward and something you're going to accomplish at the end. In the case of the boy Santiago, he went on a whole life-fulfilling, changing thing, and he found some really cool stuff along the way. The world is there to help you and get towards you, and the journey for your personal legend is essentially the journey to find yourself. It's consistently going to be presenting different challenges and things that will look like there's something that are hindering you, but they're there to actually help you. And why I say that is because it's a challenge to recognize where you are in life and seeing if you have the tools to overcome it or how you're going to approach it. If there is a wall in front of you and it extends infinitely out, how do you get around it? Some people would say, I try to climb it. Some people say, I try to crawl under it. Some people say, I just sit and wait. And all of those answer, yo, no effing way, man. Thank you for that raid, friend. Welcome, guys. How is it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Astros Flame. We're doing a motivational talk today on finding yourself before we hop into Commander later. And we're just kind of talking on the analogy of a wall. And as Nidorok said, smashing the wall is also an option if you are super strong like Nidorox. Man, I don't think I know anyone stronger than Nidorox. That boy is just like, that wall, I'ma smash it till I can get poutine with my boy. That's how Nidorox rolls. But the attempt at how you want to get over the wall is how you're going to push forward in life. There is no wrong answer, right? That wall is just a challenge to overcome, and you can use any tool in your arsenal to overcome that wall in order to move forward. And that's going to give you more lessons and understanding of who you are and your solution to it. If you come up with something creative, you're probably leaning towards, I don't know, like I would build a ladder. I would find tools around me to try and build something to climb over it. Someone might use tools, like I said, dig around it. Nidorox, he'd just go wall smash and it break. And we all would have figured out something new and interesting about ourselves. And the people that decided to not attempt the wall, maybe like, I'm not ready for this challenge. I need to go and approach something else to figure out something I'm missing in life to come back to it. Right? So it's understanding every challenge that you come from in life is going to give you an experience, an opportunity to learn something, to pick up and move forward in a different aspect. And no one's going to learn the same lesson at the same time more often than not. Everyone's going to experience it at different times and in different ways with a potentially different meaning. And ultimately, that's why I really love the book The Alchemist, because of like the 6 times I've reread the book, I have taken away a completely different message every time I have learned. Like No Effing Way just said, every day is a lesson. Everything has something new for you to learn and overcome. There's always something different you need to pick up and try to get at. And like, all of this is on the journey in finding yourself. It's a never-ending journey to keep cycling forward. And I will say, like, I'm pretty happy. I know myself at this current stage, like I've mentioned before, and that's okay. It's cool to say you don't need to go on a journey of self-discovery because you know who you are at this time. I get a little jealous of people that say they don't know who they are. And, you know, you're probably questioning yourself, well, why? Like, don't you want to know who you are? Isn't that, like, the whole point? Yeah, so the whole point is to get to know yourself. You want to know who you are. But the most exciting thing you can experience in life is that journey of self-discovery, because that is an experience you are only going to get to do once. Every time you go through a new change in life, you're only going to go through that change once. You're never the same person who you were years, days, even the previous second before. Every path, every time, every change you go through, you're experiencing that new. And it's an experience you can't ever change. It's something that, to say, like I said, I'm a little jealous because there are things I wish I could re-experience again for the first time. You know, think of when you see that first crush and your heart just kind of skips a beat and you're awestruck. You either see him or her or them. Your eyes just kind of get locked for a second. Your heart just skips and you're like, damn. Or another poetic sense. I mean, if you're sometimes like that, you might say, their eyes, they doth sparkle like the moon, reflecting only the beauty that can be seen in the darkest nights of sky, illuminating all the worries of the world away. You know, that kind of poeticness. Anyways, not to get stuck on poetry. You know, that's the kind of experience you'd look for. Shakespeare confirmed. I don't know about that. I love your motivational talk so much. Aw, less than 3, Lilith. But, you know, just being able to get that kind of stuff for the first time is always exciting. It's scary. It's different. But it's exciting at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure my life's going to throw something new to me at some point. I mean, I got a date next Friday. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope something good. She's fun to talk to, so we'll find out. That might be the new thing that's shaking up my life. I don't know. I probably should be careful with what I say because I don't want to say too much. But anyways, that's probably going to get edited out later. Yeah, so life is exciting. Life is changing. Life is moving. I got distracted by my comments of the whole eye and the crush thing. Anyways, things are going to continue adapting, and your journey is going to keep evolving, and your path will always get along. I will come along and entertain. I will be your character reference. I need a character reference now. I don't know if this sounds good or not. But yeah, that's yeah. And like the other fun thing too is like I said, the journey isn't one that continues to end. It's going to constantly keep moving. So you're going to be on this constantly moving path in life of further self-discovery, of new things you might never... There might be some things in life you never figure out about yourself, to be completely honest, which is not a bad thing, right? Just because... I'll put it this way. So your world is full of infinite possibilities and infinite decisions, right? The theory of like infinite decisions lead to more, etc. and etc. There will be tips and talents and tricks you may never find that you may have, just simply because you didn't have the chance to explore that possibility, and that's not a bad thing. it's not like a missed opportunity. It's not where your life took you. If you can say you're happy with where you're at in the day with what you know, then content is what you're good with. It's fine to be envious and it's fine to have a bit of jealousy, but what isn't fine is to be consumed by those feelings in your journey of figuring out who you are. Let's say you really love learning, you love the sounds of the trumpet. For whatever reason, you're a big trumpet enthusiast. It's like your favorite instrument. And damn, don't you wish you could play it? And you know, you're jealous of someone that is extremely skilled and in the national band and the person that can play the song announcing the royal do-do-do-do kind of thing. And you let yourself get consumed that you miss every other golden opportunity in front of you. You might be able to, you can spend the time and learn the trumpet, but if you're consumed by just only that and miss out on every other thing, tip, trick, skill in front of you, then you haven't learned more about yourself and you've just kind of lived a life consumed, a shallow life, a haul of who you could be. I played the trumpet in high school. That dude was the best thing I've seen today. Trumpet is amazing. You can make farters. It's true. The trumpet is cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, personally, I'm a fan of the saxophone and the bass guitar. I mean, my guitar is like, like right here. Hey, we go. Hey, Astro's got a bass. Yo, that's fun. I do play music. I'm a little rusty. Very rusty, actually. But anyways, that's a story for another day of how I taught myself the bass guitar and on a whim went and bought it. Actually, you know what? No, that's actually a great story, now that I think about it, because it's a reference of an impromptu decision that I wanted to do. So, I love music. Oh my goodness, guitar. When are we getting a musical stream? I'll let you know. Knowing you, it must have been a bit to impress the ladies. No, actually, it wasn't. So, this wasn't some flirtatious thing of why I went and bought it music streams. Maybe at some point, when I brush up on my my notes and chords and relearn Brown Eyed Girl again, because it's been forever. I used to actually play, I could do Brown Eyed Girl, Linkin Park, The Crosses Will Divide, a bit of an intro to one or two of the Dragon Force songs, like Heroes of Our Time. God, though, the Dragon Force songs are so hard on the bass. The guy that plays it is just impeccable. He's great. But so how did I go to get a bass? How did I figure out I wanted a bass? So I've always loved music. In grades 7 and 8, I learned the flute in music class. Because I was asthmatic, I still am. So certain breathing techniques are hard. My lung capacity was not great at that age. I wasn't as active as I am now or was. So lung was, which meant blowing out hard. Air not good. So instrument with proper breath control was good. I also lived in an apartment, so noise was a concern. So the flute, not that loud. Flute worked out. So learned how to play the flute in grade 7 and 8. Come grade 9, wanted to learn a new instrument. So I tried for 2 years to learn the saxophone in grade 7 and 8, because if you could prove yourself, adapt enough, you could pick a new instrument in grade 8. I never actually got around to doing the test to do it. But, you know, come grade 9, it was like, oh boy, new instrument, what am I going to pick? So I went and picked the tenor saxophone, which, funny enough, actually has the same fingerings as a flute. Did not know that when I picked it. Found that out relatively quick, a weekend. Really helped with learning. So, yeah, coincidences in life, they happen. So I taught myself the tenor sax in grade 9. Did concert band in grade 10. We were pretty good. We went to nationals, got like second place. You know, anyways, it was fine. But come like university and stuff after grade 10, I hadn't been doing music for about 6 years, and I really, really missed it. I've always enjoyed the bass guitar and listening to it. In terms of a band, there will be often people that say, you know, the lead guitarist is the one that sticks out. They make the decisions. No, the vocalist is the one that sets everything in motion. No, the drums play the beat. Everyone's got a different opinion of what they like in a band. My personal favorite is the bass guitar. The bass guitarist doesn't stand out, but the bass guitarist is there as a support. They set up the supporting lines of music, the chords, to let everything streamline together. You can have some songs without a bass, you can have some songs without a drum, but I absolutely love songs with a bass in it, especially when you can pick up on it, because that beat of just consistent rhythm and motion, especially when the bass guitarist has a soloist, is just It's beautiful to me, quite literally, music to my ears. So I'm in second year university, thinking about myself, and I'm like, man, I'm missing music. And I've like thought about this for like a whole week. My then not quite stepdad yet, because my parents hadn't remarried. My mom and stepdad hadn't married yet. Also played the bass guitar, and I'm like, man, I really want a bass guitar. So I'm like talking to him when he lived in England, talking to my mom. I'm like, so I'm thinking about buying a bass guitar, and they're like, well, you know, just like save up some money, pick up a guitar, just kind of wait. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then 2 days later, on the way home from university, I stopped in the music store outside of one of the Go Bus stops that we have here in Toronto, and I went and bought the bass guitar that's over there. So I texted my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna be home late. And she's like, why? I'm like, I am buying a bass guitar. She's like, weren't you gonna wait? And I was like, yeah, that didn't happen. So I show up home a couple hours later. I've got my bass guitar in my hands and in a case, carrying it around, walking in. I'm all happy and giddy, and that's a moment I've never looked back on. My bass has been with me through some fun times, through some dark times, and it's just kind of been a bit of a rock, is weird to say. Anytime I'm kind of down, I can just pick up my bass and strum a few chords to just kind of feel better. Anytime I'm feeling happy and I just want to pick it up, I can grab it. When my stepdad passed away, it was a connection I really had with him, and it was just a bit of comfort in that too. I'm not crying, you're crying, sorry. It's just been kind of a passion of life, and I haven't touched it for a few months, better part of 6 months really. I just haven't had the peace of mind for it. Just life's been busy, and I've been trying to pick it back up again and getting back to it, because my bass brings me a lot of happiness, and when I can just enjoy it and sit and play and have no cares in the world but the calluses on my fingers when I'm strumming away, and it was fun. There were days I'd bring it to university just to sit around. I'd literally sit back on like the second floor of my university. I'd pick a quiet corner with a window and a view of the entire campus, and I'd just sit there for a couple hours and strum away. And that to me was one of my favorite times of life. It was just simple. And it's been there at some of the worst times. It's been there when bad breakups. If I'm had a bad breakup, I would strum my life away to kind of just get back to it. And it's been there at some happy moments when, I actually did try once a couple times with the bass guitar to impress a girl, because apparently girls like music, but that wasn't the point of that at the time. I was dating them actively, and I was like, yeah, I played the bass, like maybe you'd like to hear a chord. Like, you want to impress your partner, and yeah. Yeah, it's slide dog. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Well, depends. I don't use it to actively pick up. It's not my thing, but maybe it's a sign to pick it up again. Maybe. Actually, yeah. Well, so there was, on the side, I used to do some poetry writing as part of me. I like to be a little poetic. I don't often show it. I know a few guys here, friends know that I have a poetic side or a flirtatious side that comes out, especially around our friends, because it makes someone happy. You may have just briefly heard the little sonnet that we had about comparing the eyes to the moon. That comes out more often than not, especially off stream. It's an aspect of me that gives me a lot of fun, because it's enjoyable to do, to see someone smile brightly, right? It's bringing happiness, and that's one thing I absolutely love to do. One thing I found going through a journey of finding myself where I'm at these days was just seeing more and more smiles from people. So I'd have a little joke with friends if they're feeling down, and if they liked it, I'd deliver an extremely cheesy pickup line to them. And it was fun. It was enjoyable, and I got a few cracks at it. And I got better and better at it over the days, where Nitterox and I were actually sitting at a convention a couple years back, and 4 of the people that often I would do this to help them cheer up a bit were all sitting at a table in a row, and I'm just like, hat-da-da, 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 hat-da-da. I got a 4x pickup line combo on all 4 of them. Yes, all 4 are very happy. Some are taken, some are not. No, it did not mean anything. just to clarify that, but it was just fun. And we all had a little cheers and happiness because we had a 4x combo pickup line breaker. It was really cool. But the sort of moral of that, coming back to the picture of poetry, was in high school I used to write poetry the odd time. I had tried writing music at a time for a song. I had got told in grade 11 by my teacher, though, that my lyrics didn't have any soul to it. Which, when you're telling a kid that, kind of crushes the heart. So I had completely put away anything poetry related, music related, with respect to writing it, after I had heard that. And I hadn't touched it for years. Tell me who the teacher is, I will have a word. No, it's fine. It does sound crushing, but that was a challenge that I had faced in life. I completely agree. Looking back on the music that I was trying to write, or the lyrics, they were not by any stretch of the imagination good. There literally was no soul in that music, and the teacher wasn't trying to be hard and critical about it. The teacher was trying to tell me, you've got to have feeling in the words that you're trying to write. If you're just putting words on a paper and there's no feeling in them, then they're just words. Poetry was one thing. I could write that out and that would have essence and meaning, but writing a song was a whole other different means. And yeah, I took that hard and I didn't touch it. And I didn't touch trying to write songs for a long time, because my heart wasn't in it at that time. And I've got one song I've been working on probably for about a year and a half now. It is only halfway done, but I finally decided last year to pick up the paper and try writing it again. It's a tentative title. It's Paint a Picture for the Soul was the name of it. Is it done by any stretch? Absolutely not. I have no idea when it's ever going to be done. But sitting down for a day, I had a sense of a feeling that really brought me to wanting to write words on a paper and transform what would have maybe been a poem into lyrics of a song. And that was a strong essence for me a year and a half ago that I really had a blast to do. And I'm going to go back to, music has always been a part of my life, and I think where I'm at in life, I'm going to be ready to pick up my bass guitar again, because I miss strumming, I miss playing, and I'm ready to have that essence of me back and not just sitting in a corner getting dusty. Like I said, that bass has been with me through the best and worst, and it feels like a good time to start picking it back up again, to find more about who I am, because my journey's definitely not anywhere close to being over. Little in the fact that, some of you may be not even close to the end of your journey. And the journey never ends, but, there are checkpoints in life. And I'm happy to say I think I've reached a pretty good checkpoint. Some of us probably haven't reached a good checkpoint. But you can't stay at a checkpoint forever. You gotta press on. You gotta move. And that's the continual journey of looking to find yourself and grant it and go. Yeah, it's consistently evolving and changing. I think it's kind of the cool bottom line of it all. I'm hoping for fun things in life. I'm hoping my journey continues going in good ways. I know certain aspects of my life have been sad and bad. I've had friends come, I've had friends go. I've had a bad fight with friends, and I've lost a good friend over misunderstandings. And if you guys remember our talk from one of our first couple times, we talked about the toxicity of people. And yeah, you know what? I was sad to see that friend go, but I probably would say it's for the better at that time, because what was coming from that discussion and that end of friendship was toxic, and it was negative in aspect of life. And certain things in my life have improved since that time. Other things have taken a different change and shift, and that's part of my journey and path that I've gone towards in life. And you're probably going to be wondering too, how do you figure out where you're at in your journey? How are you going to continue moving forward? Where are you going to keep going? You don't really have some sort of compass sitting in front of you to tell you which way is north. The way you're going to go is entirely up to you. There is no wrong way per se. I don't mean that in that you can make wrong decisions. I mean that in you could decide to go left, you could decide to go right. That doesn't matter. What matters is the experience that you're going to take away in order to shape where you want to end up. You could take a path that only takes an hour. You could take a path that takes 2 hours and end up in the same destination. But on the path that took 2 hours, maybe you just took a little bit more time to smell the roses and ended up with something really special and cool along the way. I don't know, maybe you found like a really rare gemstone, a special set of dice, a limited edition limited edition Funko Pop figure that they don't sell anymore, and you found it for $10 at the dollar store. I don't know, right? Like experiences in life are all where you want to go and try. And it's all about what you're willing to take to travel and figure out more about yourself. Personally for me, amongst what I listed, I am very much a calculated risk type of person. I don't enjoy taking unnecessary risks. What I enjoy is knowing when a risk has a finite odd to win or lose. And by calculated, I know that I will be happy if I win or if I lose. I'll use the pretense of Magic the Gathering packs. So I buy a pack. That pack is for a hobby. I enjoy the hobby. Therefore, calculated risk in that I might get something good from the pack. I might get something bad from the pack. But at the end of the day, am I happy that I bought it? Absolutely, 100%. No questions. I'll compare that to the essence of gambling in a casino. Would I actively want to go to a casino? I mean, it'd be fine to try, but going into a casino is not my usual forte. That's an uncalculated risk. I don't know what my takeaway could be. It could be a lot, it could be none. I could lose it all, I could win big. But it's not a calculated risk that I am comfortable in taking or trying to do. Whereas taking a risk in a hobby that I enjoy, I do, because it's for a hobby I enjoy. And if it works out, awesome. If it doesn't work out, okay, I'm still doing the hobby I love. Right? Like and that's kind of along the aspect, you learn more about what type of person you are along the journey and what you can do. And taking risks is a great way to figure that out. But take the risks that you're comfortable with. And the type of risk that you take will tell you and what kind of person you are along the journey. It'll especially shape how your path to where you're going to get to is going to look. If you're taking risks versus calculated risks. Calculated risks, sometimes the path does take longer because it's slower. Yes, you can win big on the risk. But you're going to see different things all on the way and who you're going to be. And it'll just, at the end, as long as you're happy with who you're going to be and the path you're going to take, that is ultimately what's going to be the real cool thing. All in all, to learn more about yourself, it's going to be happy and be successful. Be happy with the path that you take. That is how to figure out who you want to be, where you're going to be, and what, in essence, sometimes you want to be. Right? If things can only go two different ways, chances are you know the way you want it to go. That's the path you'll end up taking. So I don't know. I'm trying to think if there was one more example. I kind of have for that, but there's a lot of different ways that I could phrase it. Is what I was trying to say. But understanding and the path that you're gonna do is ultimately going to affect where you're going to end up. If you have some semblance of understanding of knowing what path you kind of want to try to take, go for it, venture it out. You're going to have experiences you're never going to take. If you don't know what path you want to take, that's still fine. Because like I said, that still means you know you. You know you are searching for who you want to be at that present time of your life. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that in the world. That is honestly, I think one of the most exciting positions to be in. When you've got a blank slate and all the colors of the world to paint it with. There's tons. The possibilities, the combinations of what you could do are limitless in order to find out things. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. I know I kind of went a little off kilter on finding yourself and how that's done and what it kind of means, but the bottom essence of what it all kind of comes to is knowing yourself is knowing that you're constantly changing. The path you take is going to be affected, and what kind of comes of it is you will always push to where you want to go. You're always going to have something you want to achieve to. There are challenges you're going to want to recognize. And it's okay with any decision you pick in any of those points. Right? That's the kind of bottom line. Knowing who you are comes in a variety of different means, but it all boils down to one thing. Understanding who you may be at this time or where you want to get to. Or it's kind of the two big points I want to make for that. Who you are at this time and knowing where you want to get to are connected by a path. That path, like I said, changes. It's okay to feel lost now because that means you know you're lost and need to find your way. And it's okay to know where you are now and not be lost because that means you kind of know where you're at. And you're going to experience things all along the way. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in today for a Motivational Sunday on how to find yourself. I'll be posting the video up. This is off stream now, so I'll do some edits and I'll throw this up on YouTube and send it out. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. I had a blast. This was a really interesting one. I had a good one. So thank you to Lilith actually for the suggestion on this one. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see for Motivational Sunday, please hit me up in DMs on Discord, on Twitter, whatever. And yeah, just let me know. I'm always open to talk about more stuff. I always preach either before or after a video. I am by no means a therapist. I am by no means a psychologist. My major is neither of those at all. What I am is just a person who's lived a life and is giving you the best of experience that I can give with the knowledge that I have at present.